Lesson 1: Meaningful Travel Memories.
What is a question you ask to learn about someone's most meaningful travel memory?
I often ask, what trip changed your perspective on life?
That is an insightful question. How do people typically respond?
Many share stories of places that taught them valuable lessons.
What about you? Have you had a trip that changed you?
Yes, visiting a small village opened my eyes to different cultures.
That sounds enriching. What did you learn there?
I learned the importance of simplicity and community.
Those are significant lessons. Travel can truly broaden our minds.
Lesson 2: Managing Digital Distractions.
What is a small habit that helps you manage digital distractions?
I set specific times to check my phone. This keeps me focused.
That is a smart approach. How does it change your day?
It reduces interruptions and increases my productivity.
I understand. I also limit my social media use during work hours.
That is beneficial. Social media can be very distracting.
I agree. Do you have any other strategies?
I turn off notifications for non-essential apps.
That sounds effective. Managing distractions is key in today's world.
Lesson 3: Places of Best Memories.
What is a place that feels like it holds your best memories?
My grandmother's garden holds many cherished memories for me.
That sounds beautiful. What makes it so special?
It is where I spent many joyful afternoons playing and learning.
Gardens can provide comfort and joy. Did she teach you anything there?
Yes, she taught me about plants and patience.
Those are important life lessons. Do you still visit that place?
Yes, I visit whenever I can. It brings me peace.
I can see how a place can hold our most precious moments.
Lesson 4: Supporting Dreams.
What is a small way you support someone's dream?
I make it a point to listen to their ideas and offer encouragement.
That is a wonderful approach. How does it help them?
It shows them that someone believes in their goals.
Encouragement can be very powerful. What else do you do?
I share resources that might help them achieve their dreams.
Sharing knowledge and tools is very generous.
Yes, it can help turn dreams into reality.
Supporting one another is essential for growth and success.
Lesson 5: Advice to Younger Self.
What is a question you ask to learn what advice someone would give their younger self?
I usually ask, what would you tell your younger self if you could?
That is a deep question. Why do you think it is valuable?
It reveals important life lessons and regrets.
Have you asked this question before?
Yes, I learned that many people wish they took more risks.
Taking risks can lead to growth and opportunity.
Exactly. Encouraging others to follow their instincts is vital.
I agree. Learning from past experiences shapes our future decisions.
Lesson 6: Ending the week well.
What is a small habit that helps you end the week well?
I like to reflect on my accomplishments each Friday.
That sounds productive. How does it make you feel?
It gives me a sense of closure and achievement.
I think that is wise. I often plan for the week ahead.
Planning helps set clear intentions for what is to come.
Absolutely. It brings clarity and focus.
Ending the week positively prepares us for new challenges.
Yes, small habits can create a strong foundation for success.
Lesson 7: Planning life changes.
What is a place you go to when you want to plan big life changes?
I often visit the beach. The sound of the waves calms my mind.
That sounds perfect. What do you do there?
I sit on the sand and reflect on my thoughts.
Nature can be very inspiring for decision making.
Exactly. I also write down my ideas while there.
Writing helps to clarify your thoughts. Do you find any connections?
Yes, being near the ocean brings clarity and focus.
I can see how that could help with planning.
Lesson 8: Making time for what matters.
What is a small way you make time for things that matter most?
I schedule time in my week for hobbies I love.
That sounds effective. What hobbies do you prioritize?
I enjoy painting and reading. They bring me joy and relaxation.
Those are great choices. I set aside weekends for family and friends.
Spending time with loved ones is essential. It strengthens our bonds.
Yes, and allowing time for ourselves is equally important.
Exactly. Balancing personal interests and relationships keeps us happy.
It is all about creating time for our priorities.
Lesson 9: Learning about favorite restaurants.
What is a question you ask to learn about someone's favorite local restaurant?
I usually ask, "What dish do you recommend there?"
That is a great question. It can lead to delicious discoveries.
Yes, food preferences reveal a lot about a person.
Have you discovered any hidden gems this way?
I found a tiny sushi place that serves the best rolls.
That sounds amazing. I love trying new cuisines.
Food experiences can create lasting memories.
Exactly. Sharing meals strengthens connections.
Lesson 10: Staying motivated on slow days.
What is a small habit that helps you stay motivated on slow days?
I create a short list of tasks I can complete.
That is a smart approach. How do you choose these tasks?
I focus on simple, quick tasks that give me a sense of achievement.
That sounds motivating. I like to listen to upbeat music.
Music can definitely lift spirits. What do you listen to?
I enjoy pop and motivational podcasts.
Those can be very inspiring. Small habits keep our energy high.
Indeed. Staying active helps us overcome slow moments.
Lesson 11, a personal retreat.
What is a place that feels like a personal retreat to you?
I find peace at a small lake near my home.
That sounds calming. What do you enjoy doing there?
I like to read or simply sit and reflect by the water.
Nature can be so soothing. I feel the same in the mountains.
Mountains offer a sense of freedom and beauty.
Yes, being outdoors helps clear the mind.
It is essential for our mental health.
Finding personal retreats allows us to recharge.
Lesson 12, investing in relationships without money.
What is a small way you invest in a relationship without spending money?
I take time to listen and offer support.
That is meaningful. Listening shows you care.
Yes, it builds trust and strengthens the bond.
I often share personal stories to create deeper connections.
Sharing experiences can be very powerful. What else do you do?
I write handwritten notes to express appreciation.
That is a lovely idea. Small gestures can have a big impact.
Absolutely. Investing in relationships is all about thoughtfulness.
Lesson 13, admiring historical figures.
What is a question you ask to learn what person in history someone admires?
I often ask, who inspires you the most from history?
That is a profound question. Why do you think it is important?
It reveals values and aspirations. People often admire leaders or thinkers.
Yes. Who do you admire?
I admire Marie Curie for her groundbreaking work in science.
She is an inspiring figure. I admire Martin Luther King Jr.
His vision for equality was remarkable.
Finding inspiration in others can motivate us to achieve great things.
Lesson 14, perspective on success.
What is a small habit that helps you keep perspective on success?
I reflect on my achievements every month.
That is a valuable practice. How does it help you?
It reminds me of how far I have come and what I want to improve.
Reflection is key. I like to celebrate small wins too.
Celebrating small successes keeps motivation high.
Yes. It creates positive reinforcement for our efforts.
Exactly. Maintaining perspective is essential for long-term success.
I completely agree. It helps us navigate challenges and remain focused.
Lesson 15, Experiencing Seasons Again.
What is a place you would love to experience again with a different season?
I would love to visit the mountains in autumn. The colors must be stunning.
That sounds beautiful. I have only been there in summer.
Summer is lovely, but autumn brings warmer colors. The leaves are breathtaking.
I can imagine. The crisp air and falling leaves would be refreshing.
Yes, it offers a different kind of beauty. Have you been there in winter?
No, I have not. I hear it is completely different with snow.
Winter must be magical. A snowy landscape can feel tranquil.
I want to visit a mountain in winter to experience that.
Lesson 16, Celebrating Tiny Progress.
What is a small way you celebrate tiny acts of progress?
I treat myself to my favorite coffee when I complete a task.
That is a great motivation. What is your favorite type of coffee?
I enjoy a caramel latte. It always makes my day better.
I can understand that. I reward myself with a book when I achieve a goal.
Books are wonderful rewards. What kind of books do you enjoy?
I like mystery novels. They allow me to escape into another world.
Celebrating progress, no matter how small, is important.
Yes, it fuels our motivation to keep going.
Lesson 17, Coping with Change.
What is a question you ask to learn how someone copes with change?
I often ask, how do you usually adapt to new situations?
That is a thoughtful question. It shows a genuine interest.
Yes, it helps me understand their coping strategies. Do you have a similar question?
I like to ask, what do you do to feel grounded during transitions?
Grounding techniques can be very helpful. What about you?
I meditate when I face significant changes. It brings me clarity.
Meditation is a great way to stay focused and calm.
Yes, it helps me embrace change instead of fearing it.
Lesson 18, Feeling More Compassionate.
What is a small habit that helps you feel more compassionate?
I practice active listening when someone speaks. It shows I care.
That is a valuable habit. Listening creates a deeper connection.
Yes, it allows me to understand their feelings better.
I smile at strangers. Small gestures can make someone's day brighter.
That is a kind practice. Kindness can spread like wildfire.
Indeed. Compassion fosters a sense of community.
It does. Each small act of kindness counts.
I agree. Together, our small actions can create a larger impact.
Lesson 19, Recharging a Friend.
What is a place you would take a friend to help them recharge?
I would take them to a quiet beach. The sound of the waves is soothing.
That sounds perfect. Nature can be very restorative.
Yes, the beach offers peace and a chance to reflect.
I agree. Sometimes, a little time away can work wonders.
Do you have a favorite beach you like to visit?
Yes, I love a secluded beach with clear water.
That must be beautiful. What do you enjoy doing there?
I enjoy swimming and simply relaxing in the sun.
Lesson 20, Staying Connected to Goals.
What is a small ritual you keep to stay connected to your goals?
I write my goals down and read them every morning.
That is a great practice. How does it help you?
Reading them keeps my focus sharp and motivation high.
I can see that. I like to visualize my goals during meditation.
Visualization can be powerful. It helps manifest what we desire.
Yes. I feel more driven when I picture my success.
Rituals, no matter how small, can create strong connections to our goals.
I agree. They help us remain committed and inspired.
Lesson 21, Meaningful Family Traditions.
What is a question you ask to learn about someone's favorite family tradition?
I usually ask, what tradition brings your family together?
That is a thoughtful question. Why do you think traditions are important?
Traditions create a sense of belonging and connection among family members.
I agree. They hold memories that can be cherished for years.
Yes. Do you have a favorite tradition from your family?
We have a family dinner every Sunday. It keeps us close.
That sounds wonderful. Sharing meals can strengthen relationships.
Exactly. Each week, we share stories and laughter.
Lesson 22, Must-See Experiences.
What is a place you think everyone should experience once?
I believe everyone should visit the Grand Canyon.
Why do you think that?
The views are breathtaking and humbling.
I agree. Nature can be incredibly inspiring.
Yes, it reminds us of our small place in the world.
Have you been there?
Yes, I visited last summer. It was life-changing.
I hope to go someday. What did you enjoy most?
Lesson 23, Songs of Hope.
What is a song that always makes you feel hopeful?
I enjoy What a Wonderful World. It reminds me of beauty everywhere.
That is a classic. It paints a lovely picture of the world.
Yes, the melody is soothing and uplifting. It gives me hope.
Music has a special way of touching our hearts.
It can change our mood instantly. What about your favorite?
I find Here Comes the Sun very encouraging. It symbolizes new beginnings.
That is a great choice. It reminds us that challenges will pass.
Hope is essential for resilience in difficult times.
Lesson 24, Mornings Made Easier.
What is a small change that made your mornings less rushed?
I started preparing my outfits the night before. It helps me save time.
That is an efficient strategy. Mornings can be chaotic.
Indeed, choosing clothes ahead of time reduces stress.
Have you noticed any other changes that help your morning?
I also set my breakfast table the night before. It simplifies my routine.
That sounds very organized. Morning routines create a positive start to the day.
Yes, they set the tone for everything that follows.
A calm morning can lead to a productive day ahead.
Lesson 25, Sharing Laughter.
What is a memory you share to make others laugh?
I often tell about the time I tripped on stage during a school play.
That must have been quite a scene. How did the audience react?
They burst into laughter. I laughed too, even though I was embarrassed.
That is the beauty of humor. It unites us in our mistakes.
Exactly. A good laugh can lighten any mood.
Have you shared this story many times?
Yes, it never fails to get a laugh from my friends.
Laughter creates wonderful connections and memories.
Lesson 26, Saying No Gracefully.
What is a way you practice saying no gracefully?
I use gentle language. I express appreciation before declining.
That is a clever approach. It preserves relationships.
Yes, people understand that I value their request, even if I cannot help.
Have you encountered challenges when saying no?
Sometimes, but practicing has made it easier. I am more confident now.
Confidence is key when setting boundaries.
Definitely. A clear refusal respects both parties.
Establishing boundaries leads to healthier relationships.
Lesson 27, Unlocking Creativity.
What is one thing you do to feel creative during the week?
I try to journal my thoughts every evening. It sparks my creativity.
Journaling is a great technique. How does it inspire you?
Writing helps me clarify my ideas. It can lead to new insights.
Insights are important for creativity. Have you written anything interesting?
Yes, I often write about dreams or experiences I want to explore.
That sounds inspiring. Creativity often comes from personal experiences.
I completely agree. Journaling opens a door to endless possibilities.
Embracing our creativity enhances our everyday lives.
Lesson 28, New Traditions.
What is a tradition you started with your friends?
I began a monthly game night. It has become our favorite time together.
That sounds fun. What games do you play?
We enjoy board games and video games. Everyone brings their favorites.
Do you have a favorite game?
I love playing Codenames. It is very strategic and exciting.
I have heard about that. How do you choose the games?
We vote on which games to play each month. It keeps it fresh and engaging.
That is a great idea. Have you gathered many friends?
Lesson 29, Travel Styles.
What question do you ask to learn about someone's travel style?
I often ask, what is your ideal vacation like?
That question reveals a lot. What do you learn from their answers?
I discover if they prefer adventure or relaxation.
That is interesting. I like adventurous trips myself.
Me too, but I also appreciate a quiet beach day sometimes.
A balance between adventure and rest is perfect.
Exactly. What about packing? How do you prepare?
I make a thorough list to ensure nothing is forgotten.
Lesson 30, Daily Energy Habits.
What is a small habit that keeps your energy steady through the day?
I start my day with a glass of water.
Hydration is vital. Do you have a morning routine?
Yes, I also do a short yoga session. It wakes me up.
Stretching is essential for a good start.
Absolutely. It keeps my body flexible and my mind clear.
I should try that. What do you eat for breakfast?
I prefer oatmeal with fruits. It gives lasting energy.
That sounds healthy. I often skip breakfast.
Lesson 31, Revisiting Places of Change.
What is a place you would love to revisit to see what has changed?
I would love to return to my old school. It holds many memories.
That sounds interesting. What do you hope to see there?
I want to see if the playground is still the same. I spent many hours there.
Playgrounds are special places. They hold the joy of childhood.
Exactly. I also wonder if the teachers I admired are still there.
It would be nice to reconnect with them. They shaped our learning.
Yes, they have a lasting impact. Have you thought of a place?
I would like to revisit the city where I studied.
Lesson 32, Celebrating Learning Progress.
What is a small way you celebrate learning something new?
I treat myself to a dessert after completing a course.
That is a delightful way to reward yourself. What kind of dessert?
I enjoy chocolate cake. It makes me feel special.
I often buy a new book as a reward. It helps me continue learning.
That is a great choice. Books can introduce new ideas.
Yes, it feels good to celebrate progress, no matter how small.
Absolutely. Recognizing achievements keeps us motivated.
I agree. Celebrating learning creates excitement for the next challenge.
Lesson 33, Coping with Change.
What is a question you ask to learn how someone copes with change?
I often ask, what strategies do you use to adapt to new situations?
That is a thoughtful question. How do people usually respond?
Many share techniques like journaling or seeking support.
Writing can be very therapeutic. Do you have a personal strategy?
Yes, I like to talk it out with friends. It helps clarify my thoughts.
I do the same. Having someone to listen makes a difference.
Absolutely. Talking about change can reduce anxiety.
Each person has their way of coping. It is interesting to learn.
Lesson 34, Teaching Younger Self.
What is a question you ask to learn what someone would teach a younger version of themselves?
I usually ask, what advice would you give your younger self?
That is a profound question. It reveals valuable life lessons.
Yes, people often share their regrets and insights.
Have you thought about what you would say to your younger self?
I would tell myself to embrace risks and not fear failure.
That is important. Taking risks can lead to growth.
Exactly. Young people should be encouraged to explore possibilities.
Learning from our past shapes a better future.
Lesson 35, Maintaining Hope.
What is a small habit that helps you maintain hope during long projects?
I take regular breaks to recharge and reflect.
That is a smart approach. How do breaks help you?
They allow me to clear my mind and regain focus.
I like to visualize the end goal of the project.
Visualization can be powerful. It keeps my motivation alive.
Yes, imagining success helps us push through challenges.
Absolutely. Hope is essential in overcoming obstacles.
I agree. Every small step toward our goal counts.